Politico is reporting that former President Trump is under pressure from some Republicans to help fund GOP candidates in the midterms. Politico describes how Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and some of his allies are indirectly urging Trump to pony up some of the, get this, $99 million he has amassed in his own political campaign coffers to help Republicans and, in so doing, try to flip the Senate. All this comes ahead of midterm elections in which some of Trump's own endorsed candidates appear to be lagging in the polls and are definitely trailing their Democratic opponents in fundraising. Joining me now is one of the authors of that article, Politico national political correspondent Meridith McGraw. Meridith, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. One thing I want to clear up right from the start before we get into this money conversation, because money is different in politics. Are we talking about hard money from President Trump or independent expenditure money that is not directly coordinated with campaigns but can amplify a candidate's message?
Senator McConnell is urging these Trump-backed candidates and their PACs to donate or to have funds that are transferred from Save America to their own political PACs. And it comes as there's just a lot of frustration over the lack of spending that the former president has done in a lot of these races. While he's held rallies, he's done tele-rallies, he's held fundraisers where he's made appearances, he hasn't directly given or written checks to some of these candidates to help with some of the ad spending that they really need coming into the home stretch, especially as these advertisements really get more and more costly as we get closer to November.
And Meridith, I'm sure this is a rich experience for you as it is for me, understanding, and there's only one way to describe it, the ongoing public feud between Mitch McConnell and the former president, not just over tactics, but methodologies and approaches to obtaining and keeping power in Washington. How is this all playing out? And in the Trump world, do these entreaties, even if indirect from Mitch McConnell, elicit some kind of maybe behind-the-scenes chuckling or derision?
Well, it really does seem like there's a bit of a premature circular firing squad going on here between McConnell, Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott with the National Senatorial Republican Committee, and with Donald Trump. And, we don't know how these races are going to play out come November. If Republicans will, in fact, pick up a seat in the Senate. But there is concern about some of these races in Arizona, in Ohio, and Pennsylvania, where things are quite close. And there could be a case where Republicans don't eke it out. And what we've seen is really just a remarkable amount of public finger pointing. It hasn't been exactly behind the scenes over things like candidate quality or who's spending money or, the Trump's involvement in certain races.
So Trump's Save America PAC has raised, according to the estimates and according to the filings, not the estimates, but the filings, $103 million and spent about $36 million. Where has that gone?
Well, he has spent money on some primary races. A lot of money was spent trying to get Governor Kemp out of the primary in Georgia, and Trump failed at that. And a lot of money was spent trying to oust Congresswoman Liz Cheney, which he was successful with in Wyoming. And he has spent money on some things related to, lawyers or different expenditures related to the Republican Party. But, overall, Trump has really sat on this amount of money. And people close to him say he's not obligated to be shelling out more money. Hasn't he already done enough? He's endorsed candidates. He is holding rallies. He's doing one in Pennsylvania this weekend and another one in North Carolina. Overall, he really is sitting on a giant mountain of cash. And should he announce a run for president, his hands will be kind of tied in how he'll be able to spend some of that money as well. And there's a possibility that, some of that money could go towards perhaps paying for his legal bills as he's facing so many legal battles this summer. And the RNC has said that they will not be helping him out in this case.
And Meridith, as you did the reporting for this, It would seem former President Trump, having endorsed some of these candidates who are in these difficulties, either via polling or fundraising, he'd want to get behind them so he could prove the concept. The endorsement is not just valuable in a primary, but in a general, and I'll put some money behind it to prove it.
Yeah, you would think that. And that's what I think Senator McConnell is hoping that the message will be. And for a lot of Republicans, that Trump will see this as a good thing for his brand. If he spends money on these candidates and he puts them over the finish line, it's only a net positive for him, especially as he's poised to make an announcement for a run in 2024. But the former president also has a longstanding reputation for being a bit of a penny pincher, for being a little bit stingy, maybe with how or careful, maybe, or cautious with how he spends his money. And so, just by who he is, he's not exactly the most eager to be cutting checks left and right here.
Politico's Meridith McGraw, thanks so very much.
Thanks for having me.